Greetings, Warrior fans from the Hanson Fieldhouse. I'm Mike Stetson, Sports Information Director. I want to thank you for joining us for the inaugural edition of Warrior Weekly. This show will give you a chance to listen to the coaches and the student athletes as we sit down and go in depth in interviews with the people that are making the action happen on the fields and courts for the Warriors. We'll also have highlights and game scores, as well as the upcoming schedule for fans as you watch each week's show. I want to thank you for joining us. And since it's a championship season in the football, we decided to sit down with Warriors head coach Josh Littrell and talk about what was a fantastic season in 2017 and talk a little bit about what we can expect for the 2018 season. Thanks for joining us for the inaugural Warrior Weekly, and now let's get to the show. Fans, I want to thank head coach for the Waldorf Warriors football team, Josh Littrell, for joining us today. A lot of football and championship football going on this time of year, so it's a great chance to sit down and talk to you because obviously championship expectations for this team after what was, the best season in the school's history at the 4-year level. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk a little bit about last season. 7-4, a lot of excitement around the program, turning the program around. How exciting was this season for you guys?
Oh, it was a wild ride. I mean, everything happened so fast. We got here in July and, got everybody hired, got our staff hired. 2 weeks later, the team showed up. And so we asked the guys, a few easy questions, about, what they wanted and, asked them, to buy in, and they did, and we actually, we couldn't believe it as a staff. Everybody bought in, a lot faster than what we thought. These kids were hungry to win, and so they did what we asked them to do. They played hard. They gave us everything they got. I truly believe that, all the way down to the last game of the season, winning in overtime. So it was kind of a dramatic way to end the season, but it was a special season for everybody involved.
I know that last game, everybody talked about the fact that at 6-4 with one game left, you had the winning season taken care of. It was almost an afterthought for a lot of fans, I think. How proud of you were you of the men to go out on that field and play as hard as they did in maybe a tough situation to get win number 7?
Yeah, we had to play. That team had beat us already. Up there at their place. And they played. Good defense. They shut us down offensively last time we had played them, and so we knew we were going to have to outscore them to win. And so we put the ball in the hands of our quarterback, and he had a special day as well as everybody else. But no, they battled hard. I mean, that was a game that was up and down. We were up, and then they got up, and we had to have a blocked extra point, return to tie the game. I think 47. And then, we had a kickoff return for a touchdown that game. And so, and then we came down and went for 2 in overtime. So it was wild.
Let's talk about, aside from the X's and O's and stuff on the field, what the team did. I mean, you guys were in the running for a berth to the national tournament. You guys, looking at the stats, best offensive year that the program has had. Hilton Joseph, just amazing year behind center as the quarterback. And then you have two-way guys like Cameron Newsom. You got guys like Jordan. You had some incredible defense, offense, and everything. What was it that you guys focused on that made all that happen?
Well, I guess, talking offensively, as you said, Bo, he was an all-conference quarterback this year. Did a great job of commanding our offense. I think, a kid that doesn't get recognized a lot is Sam Huntley. Sam Huntley had a big year for us on offense. I mean, he was our leading receiver this year, and he really came alive in big games. You know, I mean, he was on the receiving end of 2 game-winning touchdowns. You know, against Valley City State. You know, which was the first time in school history I think that we beat them. You know, and so he had that game winner there from about 17 yards out, and then we put the ball in his hands on the 2-point conversion to win the game against Jamestown. So he had a great year as well. We did. We led the conference. We led the conference in rushing this year. We averaged like 225 yards a game. But I think that the biggest stat that really stuck out, to me is that we finished 8th in the country in first downs per game, and we finished in the top 15 in the country in I think four categories, and then I think we finished 25, number 25 in the country in scoring offense. I think we were right around 35.5 a game. So. I was very happy with those guys, and it took everybody. I mean, our O-line gave us everything they had up front. The 2 running backs, Tyrone and Jordan, who are no longer with us now. They've moved on, and so we got some big roles to fill there. But Ben Mao did a great job, and again Cam, playing both sides of the ball, on offense, and then defensively. We had the injury bug. I think we started our 11 original starters at the beginning of the season. When we got to the last game of the season, I think we had 2 original starters in there. So we were plagued with injuries on that side of the ball, and but those guys that they showed that resiliency. I mean, I was proud of them. Coach Jordan on the defense and that defensive staff. I mean, they did a good job getting every ounce of everything we could out of our kids on that side of the ball. So.
Obviously, throughout the season when we talked after games, we talked a lot about defense and the point totals that both teams are putting on the board doesn't speak to the quality of the defense sometimes. But, I mean, just the final game of the year, you got special teams making plays, you got defense having to step up. Without those unique plays and without those unique talents, this team doesn't get where it was. How proud of you are you of the defense and how they played this year?
I was proud. I like our scheme. I like what we do. I think we've got to, continue to do a good job recruiting, to put our team in the best position to be successful. I've always been a big believer that, we're going to play great defense. Being an offensive guy, I've kind of, put that in the hands of Coach Jordan to make sure that gets done. And I like his vision, and I see where we're going with it. It was just tough. I mean, we've got to get some kids in here. We've got good players right now, but we've got to get better. We've got to have more competition in practice, and so that's why we were very thin on numbers this year, on the whole team, But when you don't have competition every day in practice, you're not going to be as good as you can be, as you could be. And so, but I was very happy, defensively there. And then, we talk all 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, special teams. We put a big emphasis on special teams every week in practice. And again, I think we played pretty well there all year long, outside of our kicking game, which we've addressed those, needs already. And so we're excited, moving forward, with the recruiting process. Just filling in the pieces, offensively, defensively, and then on special teams.
Let's talk about the future. First off, expectations and how you guys fulfill those. I know people are going to expect a lot from this team this coming season, and who's going to be coming back on your team, and probably have a good idea, conference-wise, who has impact players coming back. How high are the expectations for you in this program?
Oh, I don't think they're any different than what they were a year ago. We don't even talk about wins and losses. Talk about doing the right things all the time. I mean, I truly believe that. I'm telling these parents, right now we've got, 100, visitors coming to campus this month, and, we've already been busy. Our admissions department's been busy with these kids, and, just telling them that, we're worried about doing all the little things, right. Classroom, and stuff like that. And if we can take care of all the little things, then, that stuff will come. So we're not going to put a big emphasis on that. Now, obvious are, okay, we went out and, won 7 games this first year. So, people are drinking the Kool-Aid, and everybody's going to, expect that every year. So, we've kind of thrown the gauntlet down a little bit. But you know what? We're competitive by nature. We're going to give it everything we've got. I mean, I wish I could see into the future. I'd be a rich man. But I do know that we're going to put a very competitive football team on the football field. So,
talk about the needs. What are you guys addressing? What are you guys looking for out on the recruiting trail?
Yeah, you bet. we've signed 13. We had 13 semester guys transfer in here at semester, so we were excited about those guys. Just a few off the top of my head. We got 2 twins that played for Iowa Western Junior College, who was one of the best teams in the country, and so we're excited about them coming in. They're from Marion, Iowa. We had another defensive lineman that was actually went to play baseball in college, and so I had recruited him at the last school I was at, and so he's enrolled here right now. We've got a couple transfer receivers in here. We've got a running back. I'm really excited about that we got in here, and we actually got another running back as well. So we've addressed some needs, and then we had 2 secondary guys out of San Antonio, Texas. One that actually played for the high school state championship down in Texas, and then another one that actually played for me a while ago. So he's aged, but he's still got some years left. He's taken it. His path has been a little different, and so we have addressed some needs immediately for the spring, and then right now, in the fall, going in, for the next class, we've got. I think we're sitting at 21 commitments so far, and we spend a lot of time in the South, but right now, though, we focused all of our time in the state of Iowa, and we're going to build this program from the inside out. So we're really excited about the talent that we've had come through our doors right now from the state of Iowa. So,
what are you looking at signing as opposed to what you have already on the roster down the next couple of weeks? Is there focuses?
There is. We've got to get out there. We got to get a few more linemen. We need some secondary guys. Linebackers, inside linebackers. We need to get a few of those. We're looking for that. A couple speed receivers out on the edge as well. And so, basically we're looking for the best football players, and we'll kind of fit them in. But we feel very good about what we've got coming in so far.
Any impact players that you see right now that you expect a lot from? Not to put any pressure on anybody, but that you think could be the next star kind of?
Yeah, there's a few, but again, I haven't even got to know them yet. Our strength staff, Coach Laube and his strength staff, they've been doing a great job. They just started up 2 days ago, and so basically our whole team is theirs right now, and he's getting those guys right, and why we're recruiting. So I haven't got to spend much time, but there is some guys that have some ability. So, but it's on them. I tell them I don't guarantee them anything. I'll guarantee them a chance to compete for a job, but it's up to them to go win it. And then what they do with it, that's on them.
I know people are going to be excited to learn about what the spring plans are. When do you guys get started?
Right now, they'll lift. Through first couple months here, we have 6 workouts a day. They're working out in the afternoon. They got speed and agility training on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. And then, after spring break, then I think we get started around April 9th is when we will start spring ball, and we'll wrap up April 27th. So we've got about a 3-week window in there to get our practices in. I'd like to get 10 to 12 practices in the spring. Hopefully the snow melts by then. And no, we've got a good plan. We'll have what we call boot camp. And that'll be there'll be about 8 workouts in the morning, before spring ball starts, and we'll find out really, who wants to be here, and because winning's done in the off season, in the game of football. I mean, anybody can, show up in the fall. It's what they're doing right now in the off season, and it's installing that hard hat mentality. And Coach Laube, like I said, and his staff, they're really doing a great job of getting that done.
Well, I appreciate you joining us, Coach. Good luck this spring on the recruiting trail, and look forward to another exciting season. Hopefully 3 or 4 more wins at least, and get us into the postseason, and then we'll see what happens.
Hey, that'd be nice. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you
You
so
betcha.
much.